Hey guys, how you doing? This is Charles from Trinity and welcome to a brand new series for the channel, and we're going to be playing Motorsport Manager. So this game came out around about 2016. Prior to that it was a mobile game, but I think it arrived on Steam in 2016. Since it's been out, it's had a few iterations. We've had Endurance Series, Challenge Pack and GT Series added to the game, along with the create your own team option and then some livery packs as well that came with it. What I've done with this game though is I have added some mods. One of the mods that I want to play through for this series is the Fire mod for F1 2018. Now ideally I'd like it to 2019, but obviously as the cars have not been released as of yet, the liveries etc, driver lineups haven't been announced, but we're still on the 2018 mod, so that hasn't been introduced yet. But I thought it would be nice to see how this game plays with the mod. I've got about 15 hours into it personally, played offline. Never really got too far after second season. Enjoyed what I played, but when I saw the Fire mod and saw some recommendations for it, I thought I've got to give it a go, and why not record it for the channel. So we're going to start a new career here. I'm not too worried about the tutorial, but I'll leave it on. For the sake of recording, I'm going to leave it at a short race, 12 to 20 laps, or if you were doing the endurance season, 90 minutes. Date format etc, that's all fine. And this is the mod that we're going to be using, the Fire mod 2018 version 2.0. There is another version of a mod here, F1 2019, but that's again 0.01 version. Hasn't been updated with any of the announcements on the teams and the car liveries, so it's very much a work in progress. Not really worth recording a series for. So we're going to go with the Fire mod. We've got it switched on. This can be downloaded through the Steam Workshop, and what these guys have done is the Fire team, I'm assuming that's what they're called. It's just wonderful, a beautiful mod, really well done. So we're just going to set up our manager details of who we will be, and that will be me of course. So a date of birth, that will do, and should we go for like a Niki Lauda type of, when I was a race driver, this is what I would do. Although it sounds more like Toto Wolff and Arnold Schwarzenegger. No, that's not good. Anyway, so we're going to be British on the European continent, and now as part of your manager ability you create yourself a backstory. So with this you could be an ex-driver, that will give you a driver feedback rating of +3 and driver stat improvement rating increased. You can be an engineer, which makes part design time 1 day shorter. You could be a financial guru, which means that your payments are 5% less, which is very powerful. Or you could be I think that's the last one, a politico, and that will actually give you voting power of +4 each season, and the vote proposals are free of charge. Given with the team who we're going to go with, I think politico might not be a bad idea. It will help us as we're going to be a low running order team. It will give us more opportunity to vote for things that would help us instead of the higher, more experienced team. Well, I say more experienced teams, but higher level placed teams with more money. And then we're just going to get to create our character as well. So let's give him a nice little. Now let's go for the pale actually. Hairstyle. Let's go with that. Hair color. Let's go with. Geez, he looks almost like Icelandic. Maybe it's Kimi in his former life. We're going to have some facial hair. And then we've got the Nigel Mansell soup strainer right there. 5 o'clock shadow. What should we go with? I reckon let's go with the full manly beard. And do we have glasses? Glasses or no glasses? You have multiple choices of said glasses. I'm probably going to go with no glasses. And we're going to take the Politico backstory. So with this you can create your own team or you can choose a team. I want to choose a team for thematic reasons, and the GT series, the endurance series apparently I don't have, but that's no problem because we're going to go with single seater. As part of this mod we have the F1, the F2 and the F3 series. I really want to race in F1. I want to see how good we can do and how far we're going to get our race team during this series. So for Chris and Falko, the guys behind Fire 18, thank you for this mod guys. So here we have it, and as you can see the cars are rendered beautifully. in terms of how they look for this game. You don't really get to see them up close this much really when you're actually racing, because it's very much a top down, almost like the old IndyCar series that I must have played on the Amiga when I was 11 or 12. And we've got everyone. We've got Ferrari, we've got Red Bull, we've got McLaren, Renault, Force India, Toro Rosso, Williams with the Martini logo and everything. That's really nicely done. We've got the Haas or Ferrari 2.0, and then Sauber. I'm going to go with McLaren. I have been a McLaren fan since I was about probably 5 or 6, when they were racing the red and white Marlboro livery with Senna. I've always loved McLaren. I still do. I still support them. We've lost Nando this season. Massive loss for the team if you ask me. Unless they're going to do something important with this new Renault engine, I don't unfortunately see them fighting for the front for a number of years. Probably by the time my boy's in school, in high school, who knows. Anyway, so we're expected to finish 6th, the pressure is high, and we've got a net budget of 8 million. When you compare that to Mercedes, they have an extra 4 million, the pressure is still high and expect to finish as first, best in championship. And look at the setup, the car, the drivers, the headquarters, the staff. Interesting enough, the sponsors aren't that great. And then the pit crew, they really are flying. McLaren, you look at McLaren. Now, actually, drivers, top notch. Fernando Alonso probably takes up maybe 80% of that bar. Although that's not to take away from Stoffel van Dorn. He has done a great job in F2, and had he had a better car in F1, I think he'd still be at the team. Headquarters is fair to middling. Staff themselves, not bad in terms of championship wise. Sponsors, again, very low. And the pit crew is okay. So this is going to be our main focus. We will look at the staffing levels in the pit crew as well, but we really want to get this car up and running and trying to get it towards the front of the field. First few races, I imagine we're going to be at the back. That's also got a lot to do with my ability to manage the race team through the races themselves, pitch strategies, etc. Can't say I'm great at it, but I'm going to give it a go. So we are going with McLaren. So here we have one of the inevitable loading screens that comes with Motorsport Manager. Even though this game is installed onto an SSD, I do still find that the loading screens take longer than I would have expected, particularly with a game like this. It doesn't have a large amounts of assets that it has to load. And then we go into the autosave, which will always be useful. There we go. So here we are at Team McLaren. So let's look at the important stuff. Let's go straight into the car. 8th on the grid. In fact, actually, let's have a look at our mail, see what we're going to say, see what they're going to say. So welcome to McLaren. We're delighted that you've chosen to start your managerial career with us here. Hopefully there's some great times ahead. I'm Yuko, and I'll keep you up to date with everything going on around the team. That's all for now. So we've got a welcome from Nando, asking me because I'm a politico, it isn't all corruption and bribery. You better treat us all honestly here. So he's already giving me a bit of a warning, which is typical Nando style. He gets on well with Stoffel, so hopefully we're going to keep the guys together. I'm pretty sure I can win a few races this season, if you give me the support within the team, that is. Don't know what you want me to do, to be quite honest, Nando. The cars are terrible. It's a GP2 car. So another greeting from Stoffel. Get on okay. I'm going to whip my softs off to prove that I'm the much better driver. And he thinks he's got a chance to win the title this year. Well, you know what, lad, you do it for me and I'll give you as much money as you want. So this is an introduction from the designer, which is fine. Report on McLaren drivers. 7th and 10th is expected. Fernando's best skill is cornering, but he struggles with his fitness. Stoffel's fitness is his strength. What? Stoffel's strength is his fitness, maybe? I don't know. At worst, at feedback. And then we have a support driver, a 3rd driver. So we get an email from Zach the man himself. All right, Jax. Anyway, from here he's wanting us to know how we're actually going to do. He predicts that we're going to come 6th in the championship. Where do you think we'll finish? 6th might be a possibility. I don't really know. We need to make some serious improvements onto the car. I'm going to take 6, see what happens. I'm probably going to get fired. And of course, because we're in the F1, we have ERS, which is the energy recovery system. And this seems like to be a power mode. It is activating the mode. It's like lighting a blotch two paper, blue touch paper indeed. And it can give the car a huge speed boost, but drains the battery. Got the hybrid mode, and this will cut the fuel consumption, allowing the driver to make the fuel last much longer, drains the battery slower. And ERS is only active during a race. So we've got a power and we've got a hybrid. Hybrid might be quite useful in terms of the fuel consumption, particularly for the car. I'm not too sure. We'll see how we go with that. As is with Formula 1, there's a Q1, Q2 and Q3. I imagine we'll be very much around the Q1 area. If we get into Q2, I'd be very happy with that, but I can't see it being a thing right now for us. And then just the pit crew, and we will have a look at the pit crew and just see how they go. So do we have any more notifications? So it's pit crew hiring. Let's go see what we've got in terms of pit crew available. So Kate Pollock is working on the front jack, and he looks to be the best man for the job, certainly. On the rear jack we have Mackenzie, and again we've got Hyatt, which is better, but he's also better on the tyres by quite a number of points. We've got a couple of guys in recovery. You have to swap the drivers out regularly as they will get fatigued throughout the race series. But we've got some slots available here for another 1, 2, 3, 4 people. So let's see. I suppose we probably want to look at where we're lacking in the most in terms of skills. So for the mechanics, they're 217s, which is pretty good. We have a 16 and 217s on the tyres. The guys in recovery are not great. So the lowest stat that we have for the particular role is a 16 on the tyres. So who have we got? He's a 16 on tyres. Hawley is an 18 on tyres. So we're going to hire him and confirm. And with Hawley, we're going to swap him out for Kimmins. Kimmins can have a bit of a rest. That's not so bad. Who else have we got in terms of hire? Nothing else really outstanding. We've got a guy with an 18 on front jack. Our guy's got a 17 right now. It's only one difference, so I imagine it's not going to be a major issue. In terms of fixing for the mechanics, 2 17s. Do we have anything better than a 17 on fixing? No, we do not. So I'm going to reject a few of these guys now, I think. We'll keep him in there and see how he does. We'll keep an eye on that guy anyway. So for the car, I'm going to have a quick look at the car. So it's terrible. The top speed is 8th fastest. The acceleration is 9th. Braking is 4th. Low speed corners is 4th. Medium speed we are last. And high speed we are 8th. There's a lot of things to work on this car. A real lot of things. Where's McLaren suffered the most? Well, it looks to be the acceleration. I suppose we could look at getting the acceleration. Where's Sydney? So Sydney is acceleration is crucial, low speed corners are crucial, top speed is useful. It's got high tyre wear, fuel burn is medium. So I think what we're actually going to do is we are going to... I think we're going to design a new part. I'm actually going to design the gearbox first. In here you have some, and the more slots you unlock, the better the part will be, the more expensive it will be as well. What I'm thinking is here, because we can have a 15% reliability, acceleration is plus 25 to max, we get 15% more acceleration, but it also gives us a risk level 1. What the risk level is cheating. Basically it's a risk of the car getting found out. And we can just get a pure acceleration of plus 20, our reliability of plus 25 and acceleration of minus 5. I'm going to go for the red one. We have no other ability, so we can't add more like components to the gearbox build. But I'm going to go for that. It's going to cost us $1 million. We don't have a huge amount of money as it is right now. But while we're also looking at that, we might want to look at improving some of the existing parts. We have quite a few slots available to do that as well. And what will we... Let's just go back to the car again. Medium speed corners. and this has low speed corners is crucial, which we're strong at, and top speed is useful. But I'm wondering if we do some just improvements on the stock parts right now. And we look for that, what was it again? Oh, goodness me. And we look for that medium speed improvement, which would mean improving the suspension. It might not be a bad idea. What we can do is we can get the guys working on that. That'll be completed 8 days before the race. It'll give us a performance improvement of them as well, and we'll see what that gives us. In terms of reliability, I think we leave that now until we get the new parts. So let's move time on. I don't think we have anything in terms of sponsors available. Well, how's the HQ looking? So we have a level 3 factory, we have a helipad and test track, both of which max levels have been reached. We have level 3 or 4 design centre, wind tunnels low, and telemetry centres low. Telemetry would be really good to upgrade, because that gives us better telemetry in the race. It gives us the ability to see rain when it's coming, the standings, etc. That's going to burn all our money, and we're currently spending 38,000 per race. I don't think right now we can get that upgrade on the telemetry centre. So let's go through the time. So I needed to acknowledge that. I need to acknowledge that. I need to acknowledge that. I think that's everything. Let's move time on. So we're going to get the new gearbox fairly soon, and the performance work done as well, which is useful. Okay, so let's find out about the pit crew. McLaren reveal new manager Jax Pavin, and he's a total newcomer to the world of motorsport management. That's because I've got the Politico instead of the ex-driver. Okay, I don't know who that guy is, but there we go. Unemployed reserve Stephen Goldstein needs a chance. He's 35. Hating my life right now. RIGHT. Being reserve is asterisk, and I do know why they're keeping me here, said the 35-year-old, probably to learn better language, as he posted a cryptic image of a bird in a cage. I just want to race, you know what I mean? The post continued. I'll go anywhere, any type of racing. And he has a personality trait, which is shifting careers. So fans' reaction to my appointment is mixed. It's going to get a lot worse. I imagine it's going to get a lot worse. So the gearbox build has been finished. That's pretty cool. It's coming at an 80% reliability, which I don't know, it's a previously built part. So what we can do now is we can fit the parts. I'm going to give it to Nando, as Nando wants to be treated well. Does have a risk, but that's fine. And I think we're going to go on to the improved parts, and with this we're going to actually add some reliability. Can I balance that out? Balance that out a bit better. So the performance will be 1 day before the race, the reliability will be 2 days. Probably won't be able to work on any more parts anyway leading up to that, but we'll get the performance boost on the suspension, and we'll get the reliability work on the new gearbox. Do we have anything in terms of sponsors? So we have existing sponsors already. 13 races. The fixed pay per race is going to give us $500,000. This is a fixed pay per race as well, not performance related. Fixed pay and fixed pay. So we want to get some more sponsors in. Hopefully we'll get those fairly soon. So we'll move the time forward, and we literally ticked over 1 day as we have a message. So it's asking me to do an interview, so I'll do an interview. McLaren Grand Prix is your new home, but it isn't the best team in F1. What's your plan? We aim to plant down a solid foundation. This season is about transitioning from one of the also-rans into a top team. I think that's a reasonable proposition. Fernando Alonso is seen by fans as your top driver. Do you agree with that, or would you say that Stoffel Van Dorn is better? Sorry, but the truth is Nando is the better driver. In the season preview I wrote that you expect to finish 6th in the team's championship. Is that accurate, or do you think you can do any better? I think it's fair, but we'd like to do better. You're known within the world of the motorsport, but only as GMA administrator. Will your political history raise any eyebrows within? Don't worry about it. Everything will be fine. Everything will be fine. So that's a Politico already building up. Oh, was that a notification that I just got there? So yeah, we've got some notifications here. The game doesn't seem to stop when something pops up. It's only when something important happens. So we're going to get a report on the Sydney race circuit. So it'll be a 14-lap race. So some rain during the race, with Sunday showing 40% chance of rain. Low speed corners, which is great for our cars with excellent front rings. Red Bull racing the top team, so I'll have to watch out for them. Tyre compound choice of this race are between super soft, soft and mediums. It's a fairly good track for tyre wear, and our car is pretty excellent at that, so we should be able to make the tyres last. That's all from me, okay? And the guy is asking me to upgrade the wind tunnel, but I think probably the telemetry is more important right now. So we have some sponsors. Let's have a look at slot 6. Are these actually race bonus? It says race bonus, but they just like fixed pay per race. But anyway, let's see what we've got here. So Gavinci is going to give us, for 12 races, 200 grand or thereabouts. Converse 14 races, and Billabong is target position 15th or above for 7 races at 260 grand. That's assuming that we're actually going to do okay and get 15th of above, and I hope we would, but I'm pretty sure there's no guarantee. So we look at 260 and times that by 7 races. That's only going to give us 1.8 million. The Converse deal is going to be obviously lasting a lot longer, but 232 and times that by 14, so that's 3.2 million. Because what we want is ideally the most money for the shortest amount of time, so we can get a new sponsor in. And the Gavinci one, so we're going to take the Converse. Longer, but we're going to get a decent amount of money in every time. And then for slot 1, have we got any? See, 9th or above, 8th or above. I don't think we're going to be able to do that. I really don't, and I need money to come into the team. So I think what we're going to take is the median 7 races boost. Means that we still don't have like any upfront lump sum payments, which is disappointing. But we'll keep going. Performance work has been done, and now we're going to travel to Sydney. So let's just have a look at the car again now that the performance work has been done. Not a huge amount. Acceleration is improved. Let's have a look at the car in terms of reliability. So that reliability work has actually made that gearbox now 100% reliable, which is lovely. And we probably want to look at getting another new part in as well. Let's have a look at so Dubai is our next race. So top speed, braking and high speed corners are all crucial. Top speed, braking and high speed corners. So top speed we're lacking in, braking we're fine in, and high speed corners we're appalling in. So what do we go for next? Do we go for another gearbox build, or do we go for an engine? I think we probably need to go for an engine right now. I'm not too worried about fuel efficiency. I think we need to go for the top speed and reliability. It's going to cost us 1.5, but we'll get a new engine in as well, and that'll keep the guys busy. In terms of improving parts, is there anything stock that we want to improve whilst we're waiting? So I'm already trying to look towards the next race. And high speed corners, can we improve any performance in our high speed corners, which is the rear wing, isn't it? Yes. So we could do some parts improvements in the stock set, rear wing. And I think that's what we'll go. It's going to be 11 days after the race. Forget that. I don't think that's actually going to give us anything at all. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let this race run right now. See how much money we get. Let the engine complete. And let's see how we go. So now we get to choose the amount of tyres that we're going to, the types of tyres that we're going to be going with us. So the super soft, softs and mediums. Tyre wear is, was it saying, tyre wear is quite high at Sydney if I remember. Tyre wear is high. Fuel burn medium. Let's give them 4 of each across the board. Then we've got 3 more to play with, so soft, super soft. I think we'll probably go with a 564 for both of them. Parts have been fitted. Nando's unhappy. Why is he unhappy? We know that. Shouldn't you be getting the high performance car? You mean you haven't got it? But you have. You are getting the high performance car. You're getting the gearbox. You're getting the better gearbox. The rest of it is what it is. It's all pretty stock across the board, Nando, so I have no idea as to what you were talking about. You've got a brand new gearbox, which performance is more. It's more reliable. So I truly have no idea what you're talking about. If I was to give you, say that what makes you angry. What? Okay, well, I have no idea what he's chattering on about there, but let's go. Let's go to Sydney and see what we can do. I do like these loading screens as well, actually. Again, all part of the mod. They've brought in all the tracks as well, the way it looks, etc. Again, beautiful job on this mod. When the 2019 version comes out, we will look at doing another series on there, particularly the fire mod. I think I trust these guys more than some of the other modders that I've seen so far, and they do have the highest reputation, so that does come with it, really, doesn't it? So we're going to do practice, and we'll probably do practice and put a pause in before we go into qualifying, see how the cars perform. But obviously we're going to get Nando and we're going to get Stoffel out there as well. In terms of car setup, do we want to run a medium tyre? So I'm going to send Fernando out on the soft to start with. So let's see if we can tune this car. So with the mechanic's recommendation, you need to get really in the middle of these bars. And with that, you've got various things that you can tweak and change. And also, we don't have drastic changes, but we want to change it occasionally. Although with that one, that's going to be quite a large change as we want to get towards acceleration, as that is crucial. And handling wise, we want to take it into the middle for oversteer more by the looks of things. What we can do with that is we can send Nando out. We'll send him out in the super softs, or just send him out on the softs. Of course, by burning a set of tyres does mean it's not available to us in the race. And we're probably going to be looking at a 2-stop, 3-stop. I'm going to send him out on the softs, I think. Actually, I'm going to send him out on the supers because that will be our first stint in the race, is my thought on that. So that's Nando's setup done. So we're going to make some slight adjustments. Adjust the acceleration and then the handling, again more towards oversteer, and see how these guys do. Tyre choice, he's going to go out in mediums. I'm going to send him out on the softs as well. And what we're going to do, we're going to get to any car setup one, that's fine. Cancel tyre selection, we've done that. Oh, that's for the entire race team. Okay. And you can simulate a session or you can take practice. I personally like to take the practice, at least to start with, to get an idea as to how the cars are feeling. We're going to pause it immediately. I'm going to send Nando out. And I think probably what we want him to be working on is qualifying trim. for 8 laps. Is that going to let us do? Oh, there we go. I want him to work on qualifying trim. No, race trim first actually. 8 laps. We'll send him out on race trim, and then we will see if we can get some qualifying trim in as well, depending on how the car performs, depending on how we get him, how he used to the car he gets. So that's Nando ready to go, and then we're going to send Stoffel out as well. In fact, what we'll do is we'll just cancel, we'll do that, we'll let his car go out, and then we'll pause. Let's have a little bit of a gap between the cars themselves. Stoffel, again, I'm going to send you out for the 8 laps on race trim. You got the tyres as well for it. Probably don't want to burn the entire pair, but we'll see how we go. And I've forgotten what you can do with this is you can actually change the strategies. So here we have the driving style, which is your tyres, and the engine modes as well. And then we also have we can actually follow each driver. And of course we speed up, which I generally do like to speed it up a bit. We'll take them out into the race. And really you just watch them go around the track. Now the tracks seem fairly close. I'm not too sure actually. Probably as close as they're going to be in a mod on for the tools. So Stoffel likes the gears, that's good. So does Nando, so that's a good start already. We've got good gear ratios right for both drivers. Tyres are mid-temp, which is not bad. We want to keep an eye on those temperatures. The higher the tyre temps, the more they're going to burn. And obviously we don't want to burn out the tyres too much. Again, Nando also has the new gearbox in there. Actually, I think he overtakes a Red Bull there as well. Probably won't happen much. Again, this is only practice. Yeah, so in terms of race speed, so he needs more downforce and needs more downforce. Okay. So we've got the race trim level 1, which is good. I'm going to give him more downforce and see how they do with that. Let him complete another lap. 1:44. Fernando's a second behind. Von Dorn is nearly 2 seconds behind. He's not getting any faster right now, but again we probably need to have that. So he's happy with the handling, so we still need more downforce though on the car. He's happy with the handling as well, which is good. So they're both complaining about the downforce. He's unlocked the knowledge for the super softs as well, which is great. That means they'll wear less. Stoffel's again down in 15th and not really doing great in terms of the tyres, particularly for the setup knowledge. Alonso's in 6th at the moment with the current car, which is pretty good going. Van Dorn brought himself up to 11th and got a better level of setup knowledge. We're going to keep them out for the full stint as well. Get that race trim knowledge, tyre knowledge as well. We can probably afford to, well, we can afford to burn one set of tyres. Level 2 race trim, that's pretty good going. I'm wondering now if I actually bring Fernando in instead of letting them stay out. Give him a couple more laps actually, because he has nearly burnt through his tyres anyway, so there's no point trying to save them. Not when they're at 33%. Stoffel's doing alright in 10th. Again, only practice, not really going to give us a real indication, assuming that the AI is sandbagging like they do in real life. Super soft tyres, race trim 2. Okay, so Anando has just completed that lap. I'm going to bring him in, and we'll get him into the pits. Stoffel's completed his lap as well. His tyres are cooked at 30%, we'll bring him in as well. No point trying to manage the tyres. He's coming in, the tyres are absolutely burnt to pieces. Maybe we'll do a run on the mediums. I wonder if we'll go actually start the racing supers and then go mediums for the second stint. I only really want to do 2 stints. So Nando is in the pits. So let's pause. So speed is good, handling is excellent, downforce is poor. So we need to give him more downforce. Again, I'm going to push towards that middle a bit more. Stints, I'm going to give him some qualifying trim on 3 laps. And for his tyres, I'm just going to go out on the mediums, a set of mediums. So send out, let Nando go, he's going to have changes to his car. So now, Stoffel thinks his handling is very poor, but his feedback is not as detailed as his downforce, and that's slap bang in the middle. So he wanted more downforce. I'm going to give him a bit more on each section, push it up a bit higher. I'm going to do some qualifying trim as well for these guys, 3 laps, and I'm going to send Stoffel out on the mediums as well. And there we go. And that noise you can hear in the background is the Trinity Rabbit, also known as Spots. Would you please be quiet, Rabbit? Always picks the most opportune moments to make a noise. Bless him. Though he has recently learned how to escape out of his cage, so I have to now make sure I leave the lid down on him completely, as he does climb up onto his house, up onto the top of the cage, and then bounces out. As I found out the other night when I was trying to find him, and he wasn't in his cage, and he was actually sat directly behind me looking at me, as if to say, what the fuck are you looking at? Okay, so Nando is happy with the gear ratios. He also spends a lot of time chewing my toes, which is... yeah, I probably need to share that actually, sorry guys. So we're getting some race trim out of Nando, which is good. Sorry, some qualifying trim as well. Hopefully we're going to get some better feedback from them on the rear wing, or on the downforce, make sure they're happy. Gear ratios, Fernando's still not happy with the aero. So you wanted more downforce, so I gave you it. What else are you going to give? What else are you going to tell me? Might be able to. We're going to go 3 laps, so we'll get these laps in. Okay, they've just both put PBs in, which is nice as well. It's me leaving Origin open, so he's happy with the handling. And then happy with the aero, again needing even more downforce. So we'll let them complete this lap, and then we'll bring them both in and get more downforce on the cars as well. And I think once we finish practice, I'm going to put a cut in. We've gone nearly, well, we've gone over the half an hour phase now for the video. I like to get into half an hour as much as possible. So that's Nando, bring in, and then we'll bring Stoffel in as well when he's finished his lap, which he's just done. So I bring you guys in, really happy with the handling, just the aero that he's not pleased with. And we're actually 5th and 7th, which is, I'm surprised for McLaren. Maybe I should have taken those higher placed sponsors, but maybe not. Track grip's getting better as well, which is making it a little easier for us. That's really good. And there we go, that's Nando into the pits. So he thinks the downforce is now okay, which is not bad, but he's obviously wanting a more higher downforce. So stint, I'm going to keep you on those tyres. We've only got a few minutes. Send you out for 3 laps until it ends, and we'll send him out. Here comes Van Dorn. And we'll send out Van Dorn. He's really pissed about the handling. Still very poor, he's saying, at the moment. So I'm going to give him a lot more trim. Oh, wrong way. I'm going to give him a lot more downforce. Try and possibly go for how Nando's is. I'm going to send him out in the mediums as well. We're going to go for... Oh, it's okay, it hasn't really mattered. We'll send him out anyway and bring him in, because we'll run it until the end now as well. And see what we come with. Assuming they're going to be happy with that. We'll speed the time up now as we're coming up to the last few laps, last 3 minutes. Keep an eye out for any messages as they come in. Really, this should be it in terms of the car now. And we're finished with practice. And the rabbit's still scratching. Are you sharp? Seriously, I give him all the toys in the world. Everything he could have to chew on, he chews on the side of the fucking hutch instead. Bastard. So Van Dorn is happy with the aero, and so is Alonso. Awesome. That's really cool. So we'll leave him out for the last few minutes, get a bit more knowledge on the setups, tyres, etc. And then it is job done for practice. And as that's going to be my first practice, 5th and 8th, the gearing is a bit dodgy. We'll have a look at that. Van Dorn's happy with the gearing. We'll see what he's unhappy about in terms of the actual gearing themselves. The session's coming to an end, so the guys will come in, and that will be that. Let's speed the time up, get them into the pits. So you're now upset with the aero, even though I had given you more downforce and you were initially telling me that you were happy with it. Again, feedback from Van Dorn is not great. That is not bad. I don't know how that's really going to be in terms of race for qualification, particularly if we set that on the medium tyre. And there's probably a level of sandbagging going on there, I reckon. So we also have like a little feed here. Will you please go away and stop playing Battlefield, god damn it. Okay. So we can save here, which is good. So we're going to put a cut in here now, guys. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the first part. We're going to go for a full season with McLaren and see how far we can get them up the table, if at all. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.